Okay, we're going to try now the June 2010 paper 3. So your manager has asked you to manipulate the spreadsheet. Task number 42, use a suitable software package to load the file JX sheet. So you go into your ICT course, you go into your work folders, June 2010 paper 3, and you look for, there's a lot of files in here, so make sure you select the correct one, JX sheet. Here we go. So I double click it, it's a CSV file, so it should open up in Microsoft Excel and make some columns larger so you can see all my information. Right, place your name, candidate number, and center number in the footer. So I click on insert, header footer, I go to the footer, and in there you want your name, center number, and candidate number. Okay, I click on the spreadsheet then, and view, normal, scroll back up. There we go, let's go back to home. So in the destination column, use a lookup function. So you know you're going to use a VLOOKUP function to show the destination name. Use the code column for the lookup value and the file JXDEST for the table array. So let's look at JXDEST first. So you go into your folders and you look for the file JXDEST. Here we are. It's a CSV file you open up in Microsoft Excel. So you can see this is a vertical table. Okay, it's not horizontal, it's vertical. So I'm going to use the VLOOKUP. Okay, so I've opened up my table array, and it shows you the code and it shows you the destination name next to the code. So let's see what the question says. So I've got to show the destination name. I've got to use the code column for the lookup value and JXDEST from a table array. I've got to include absolute and relative referencing. Okay, so here I do it through click on cell A2. So in here I want to show the full name of the contents in cell B2, which is BAH. So BAH should be looked up in here. When it finds a match, it shows the second column. So BAH should show me Bahamas. So I do it through insert function. I type in there VLOOKUP, go, select from a list and press OK. So my lookup value is going to be B2. My table array, I minimize the spreadsheet and I select from A2. I don't select the headings. Okay, my table array is selected. As you see, it's automatically put $signs in my table array because it's external table array, automatically puts $signs. My column index, I want to show the second column in my table array, and I want an exact match. I press an OK. There we go, we got Bahamas. It shows the full name of the code. I double click here so it fills down, and there we go. Next to each one we got the full names. So have a look at the VLOOKUP in here. Equals VLOOKUP. B2 is my lookup value. I selected my external array. First of all, I opened the external array before I started the VLOOKUP, and then when I selected it, I minimized my JX sheet. I selected cells A2 to B11. I did not include the heading, and I show the second row, and 0 means an exact match. So in cell C2, use a function to count the number of trips to the destination where the decode column matches the contents of cell B2. This function must include absolute and relative referencing. That means it must include $signs and no $signs on the cell references in the functions, and must not use the named range. Do not count entries in rows 1 to 24. Okay, it's a lot of information there, but it's quite simple. So make sure you got JX sheet open. It tells you got to count. So you got to count the number of trips where the value decode column matches the content of the cell B2. So give you a condition, so we know it's going to be a count if. So in here I do for insert function, and I'm search for the count if function. Go, here we are, click on it and press OK. So my range from the exam paper, I can see my range would be the value in the D code column matches the contents of cell B2. So my range would be the D code column. So here's the D code column. I select the D code column, and any column with a countif, it's got to be in dollar signs. So this is my absolute cell referencing. I've got to put it in dollar signs. My criteria is told me in the question where the range matches the content of cell B2. So I want to see how many times B2 appears in this range. I press OK, and so B2 appears 7 times. So BH in this range appears 7 times. So let's have a look at the function. Equals countif, D25 to D98 is my range, and B2 is the value I'm counting in that range. I double click, so it replicates the formula all the way down. As you can see, I've used absolute cell referencing and relative cell referencing as the question has asked. Okay, in cell C11, use a function to add the total number of days using the duration column for holidays starting in that month of January. This function must include relative and absolute cell referencing. So in cell C11, so I've got to use a function inside here. There's a lot of information in the question, so let's see if we can break it down. So add the total number of days. To add the total number of days, okay, I'm thinking now I'm going to have to do a sum using the duration column. So I'm going to have to match something in the, let's have a look at the duration column. So the duration column, so I want to add something in the duration column for holiday starting in the month of January. So that means I want to go through the duration column, and I only want to add the durations for the month of January in cell C11. So I know I'm going to add some information, and I got a condition. I got to basically, I have to check the month column, okay, and when the value in the month column matches the value in B11, I got to add the duration column. So here I know I'm going to use the sum if. So I know I'm adding the duration column, but the condition is where the value in this month column matches the contents of B11. So I'll do it through insert function, and in my search I'll type in a sum if and go, and here we are, and press OK. So it's broken up for me, my range. So I want to check in month. I select all of month. Okay, my criteria is check in this column, month, the contents of cell B11, which is 1. And my sum range is when you find a match, you add up the duration column. Okay, these two columns have to go in dollar signs. So you see the pattern there, the columns in a sum if function or the countif function go in dollar signs, the columns. Press OK, and so that's giving me answer 28. Let's look at the function. Double click, so replicate it. Let's look at the first function, sum if. So I'm going to check the month column, B25 to B98. I'm going to check to see if any of the values match cell B11, which is 1. So it goes through B25 to B98 and sees if it finds a match 1. If it finds a match, it adds up the duration column. So let's have a look at this cell. So in the same column, month column, this time I check B12, which is February 2, and if it finds a match, it adds up the duration column. Let's check the third one, sum if. I check the month column. I check for B13 now, which is March, and if there's a match, it adds up the duration column. As you can see, the pattern now is quite simple, but it's quite difficult to derive that from the question. So you've seen it's told you to add the total number of days, and it's said to you to use the duration column, so you know that would be your sum range for holidays starting in the month of January. So it's just a case of figuring out your range and criteria. So we replicated the function, that's done. Set the page orientation to landscape. So we click on page layout, orientation, landscape. Save the data model and print a copy of cells A1 to C22 only, showing the formula. Make sure the contents of the cell are fully visible and it fits on a single page wide. So let's save it first. Save as an Excel workbook. And make sure you're in your June 2010 free folders and you click on save. Next thing I want to do is show the formulas. So click on formulas and I click on show formulas. See this? I can't really see all the formulas. So an easy way, rather than making each column bigger individually, select the spreadsheet from here, double click on one column, it automatically resizes everything so it fits nicely. I have to select the cells A1 to C22 and print these cells only. So select A1 to C22, office icon, print, selection, and click on preview. And it says it got to fit one page wide, and it fits one page wide, page 1 of 1. Okay, so I will print it, and then I will close print preview. Okay, make sure, yeah, my header footer, my details of the header footer were displayed. Format only the cells in row 1, 10, and 24 to be center aligned. So row, I take off the formulas, and I'm going to make some columns bigger again. So I do it the same way. I select the spreadsheet, and I double click on one column, and it automatically resizes everything. So it wants me to format the rows 1. I press Control on the keyboard and select row 10, and press Control on the keyboard and select row 24. So I'll format these to be center aligned, and then also to be bold and italic. So let's do it all together. So home, make it center, make it bold, make it italic. Okay, set the page orientation to portrait. So I'm going to change the page. So page layout, orientation, portrait. Hide rows. Okay, save the data model and print the sheet showing the values. Make sure the contents of the cell are fully visible. Okay, let's press save again. Easy as that. This time I've got to show the values, not the formula. So click on the office icon. Does it show all the spreadsheet? Yes. I've got to print off this time all the spreadsheets, and it fits one page wide. So it can be as many pages tall, but only one page wide. So print, active sheet, let's preview it. Okay, so it is one page wide and 2 pages tall. So that's fine. And my name's at the bottom. So I will click on print, then I'll close print preview. Then I need to hide rows 1 to 23. Inclusive, that's just added in, but it just basically means hide rows 1 to 23. So look at the mouse click, change to an arrow. I select the rows 1 to 23. Right click on the mouse and hide. Hide columns A, B, and C. So this time I select the columns, change to a black arrow, A, B, C. Right click and hide. Interrogate the data, that basically means filter. Find all the bookends where the country is Egypt and the discount is yes. So from decode, I click on column heading, I click on data, and I click on filter. So from here, I'll take off select all and just select Egypt and OK. And the discount has to be yes, so I take off select all and just yes. I press OK. So here's the information, and then it says to me print the data. Make sure your name, center number, candidate number is on the footer in the page. So office icon, print, let's preview it. Okay, here is the information, my details on the page. Press print, let's close print preview. Okay, that's done. Let's have a look at the question, make sure there's nothing else. No, I don't have to do anything else. That part is complete. Now I just want to show you a few extra things. What if I got to unhide the columns? That's the easy way to unhide the columns. I can right click, and I can click on unhide, and I can unhide each column. See, as the mouse changes, I can unhide each column individually. Or I can select the spreadsheet, and I can just undo it for a second. I can select the spreadsheet and see the mouse changes. I right click and press unhide, and it hides all the columns together because I changed it from the column. I could do the same for the rows. I could select all the spreadsheets, see the mesh changes, right click and unhide, and it should unhide. Okay, I've got to remove the filter first, and yeah, it should unhide. Let's try it again. Select the spreadsheet, right click, unhide. Yeah, and it unhides for me all the rows, but I had to remove the filter first. So let's undo, go back as we were. So that's just a bit of extra information for you lot. So I'm just save my spreadsheet model. Okay, that's finished. So I can turn it off. I can turn off my JX test table array, and that's it. That's complete. So turn off my exam paper, and that's finished.